This is my friend Iyla,
And this is my friend Hayden.
and this is What's the Talk About? A podcast about, well, everything.
And anything.
We're first going to start off with our rose and our thorn.
You go first.
Okay, my rose of the day is that Childish Gambino released his final album, which is sad, but it's also been very interesting to listen to. I think we're about halfway done listening to it, and it's very unique. Like, I've never heard something like that by him before.
It's because each track definitely has like a different vibe to it in it. And I've never heard it's not cohesive. But I kind of like that,
Yeah.
Something new.
I think he's like trying to do all the things he's been wanting to do with his 20-year-long career.
Which is really cool.
Yeah. And my thorn of the day is I found a very unique spelling of my name on my coffee cup today, and it was spelled Hadan. And that's a new spelling for me, and it makes me a little sad that no one ever knows how to spell my name.
Okay, but imagine being me. Because I never say my name is Iyla anymore. I have to say it's Ava. So that's my safe name because it's AVA and it's easy to spell.
But I do get called almost every single name besides my actual name, and then I have to like listen out for like Aiden and Jaden because that's
Hayden.
usually me. Okay, what's your rose and thorn of the day?
My rose is that I have no drama. And when people ask me, oh, what's going on in your life? Like, tell me something new, tell me something exciting. I'm like, I literally have nothing in my life. It's the most boring thing. But that's actually a good thing because it means peace and it means I don't have to deal with people, which is a blessing. My thorn is how difficult it is to come up with podcast episodes.
Literally.
And I don't know. It's kind of it's a process for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, today's episode topic is something really fun since we wanted to kind of drift away from the sadness we put out there
We put out there.
last week.
Yes.
So this week our topic is red flags, and we're first gonna go onto Google and find what Google considers a red flag. And we're gonna be discussing if we believe that these things are red flags, and then once we get through that.
And also it's kind of the episode where we're kind of telling you what to watch out for in people. If you do recognize these things, you're like, oh, that's a red flag. Maybe think about how to step away from that person. So if this helps you in any way, we're very glad. Or it could be that you recognize some red flags in yourself, which actually some of the ones that we have, I recognize in myself. So maybe ponder on that.
Yeah, and once we go through the Google ones, we're going to be going over some red flags that me and Iyla came up with.
They're very, very good.
Yeah. Okay, so let's just get right into it.
Okay.
So the first red flag is that the relationship is moving too fast.
Okay, what do you think about this one?
I feel like it depends on the person. That's I feel like some people, if you're really in love, I feel like maybe the relationship is going to move faster than with other people, but if it's moving way too fast, someone wants to move in with you, within a week of dating or something, I'd say maybe look back on that relationship a little and be like, what is happening?
Right. Because at that point, you don't really know each other's true feelings. But it also depends on if you've dated other people. You know what I mean? Because being a newcomer to a relationship is depending on if you want to move in, if you want to go further. It all depends on who you are as a person. So that could either be, I feel like that's a beige flag. I feel like that's in between,
Yeah. Okay, the second red flag is that they order food for both of you. What do you think?
We talked about this one a little bit beforehand, and you said that it was a red flag. And I said it depends on how long you've known the person and how comfortable you are with them. But I definitely agree that a first date, the guy orders for you, that's controlling and shows some weird intimacy problems. But yeah.
Yeah, I think it's definitely a red flag because no, I like to give people suggestions because I'm a big foodie, and me and Iyla will go places and I'm like, oh my god, the chicken salad is to die for.
And I'll usually listen to you.
Yeah, Iyla thinks my taste in drinks and food are way better than hers, and then she's usually like, I wish I got what you got.
It's true.
But I would never order for her because that's like so controlling.
I
And
know.
like, what
Thank
if
you.
he's not feeling that day, you know?
Thank you. So thoughtful. What's our third one? They don't contribute to a conversation. Yeah, that's a major red flag because
Yeah.
then it feels like you're talking to a dummy.
Yeah, I don't want to talk to you if you aren't like interacting back. Like if I'm like, how are you? And you're like, good, and then don't even ask
But
me like how I'm doing.
in some ways, I do understand because like different people have different like conversational skills, and if you're an introvert, I think it's okay to not fully contribute to um conversation. But also,
If you
do
don't
give me
try at
something.
all,
Yeah,
like at least try.
we
Put in
could be
some effort.
we could be talking about the weather. Seriously, like anything.
Yeah.
Just give me something to roll on, you know?
They don't maintain eye contact anymore.
This is a big one for me because whenever I talk to someone, even if it's like it's a teacher, even if I don't respect them, I will look in their eyes and like maintain. I feel like, do you know this about me that I maintain serious eye contact? Do you feel like that?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I can feel
And so when people are like dodgy with their eye contact when talking to me, I get like really uncomfortable. So that's kind of
I'm kind of the
a red
opposite.
flag.
I hate making eye contact. Well, like usually I'm fine with it when I'm like comfortable with the person, but if I go and meet someone for the first time, I hate looking them in the eyes because it just makes me so uncomfortable.
Did I creep you out?
No, I didn't really notice that until like now that you're mentioning it, I think back and I'm like, yeah, I can see you like right now.
Yeah. Yeah.
We're making eye contact right now, but I'm not like flushed. But if I'm looking at someone who's like talking to me and they like have deep eye contact with me, I get like so scared and I'm like, oh my gosh, why are you looking at me?
And let's talk about like the eye color. I love talking about people's like eye color, like complimenting it, because a lot of people just have really unique eyes. But those blue eyes that stare deep into your soul, they scare the crap out of me. So I understand that with eye contact. It's a little creepy, but yeah.
The next one is that they're hypocritical.
We know some people like this. Everyone does, I'm sure.
Yeah, I'm a bit of a hypocrite myself sometimes.
No, I get that. I think everyone is, honestly.
But like, if someone is always hypocritical, I feel like that is such a red flag. Like, every single thing they say is like hypocritical, or like they're always hating on somebody else, but they do the same thing. That's when it becomes a red flag for me.
Yeah, I agree. And also, when they don't, like, when their actions don't match their words, that's kind of hypocritical of them.
Yeah. The next one is if they talk badly about their exes.
Oh, I totally know all about this.
Well, from what I've observed, I feel like if they talk bad about their exes, it's usually their fault. Okay, so yeah, I feel like if you're just always talking bad about your ex, then you probably did something wrong.
Right.
Like, oh, my ex got mad at me when they cheated on them.
I'm like, are you joking? You're playing the victim?
That's your fault?
Definitely is. And then for whatever number this is, they constantly view the glass as half empty. So,
This is like in between for me because like,
but are you an opportunist? Like, do you feel like you see opportunity everywhere?
yes and no. But I feel like, I don't know, I feel like it depends on people's like moods and like
Yeah.
their mental health. Like if you're struggling through stuff and then you're like, you know, it's hard to see the good in things.
Right.
So I feel like this one's kind of quick to judge someone, but if you really know them and then they're just like,
But if you're the other partner and you see someone like seeing things as a little bleaker, I think that we should support their view. Maybe not accept their view, right, as our own, but we should support their view as long as it's not like all the time, 24/7. Because being with the person who always says things as like non-opportunities, I think is really draining for yourself and might actually contribute to you seeing the world a different way.
yeah, I think that you should run away when someone's like views are starting to affect you as well.
Yeah.
Like if they're starting to weigh you down and how you view things.
Like you
that's
could hear
not-
them out, but it's not the same as like fully conforming.
Yeah.
Especially when you hear it a lot, it tends to like seep into your brain a little bit more and you start to feel the same way. So make sure you're comfortable in yourself before hearing others' opinions.
So the next one is that someone is overly positive to the point of being dismissive.
Right.
And I definitely experienced this where someone is just like complimenting me, but it's like so passive aggressive that
Oh,
I
I
start to
hate passive aggressive
doubt
compliments.
it.
Right. It's to the point where they're like overly sunny. And then it's like a little fake, you know?
Yeah, they're like, "Oh, you're so nice."
So pretty, but in the way that's like, yeah, passive aggressive for
And then
sure.
they like throw in a little comment, but
Mhm.
but then you're so pretty.
Or they say something about themselves and they make the conversation switch to them because that's the dismissive part. They're like dismissing you and then bringing themselves up. Yeah. So I think that's extreme. Okay. Our next is they're rude to the waiter. Or like,
Taxi drivers.
yeah, service people.
Yeah.
Which is like a total red flag for me. If, let's say I'm going on a date and the guy's like really mean to the waiter, I'm gonna see that as like, if he can be mean to just a random person, then he can be mean to me or my friends or, you know, like it's an extreme, I think.
Yeah, and it's also it like makes me see that someone thinks that like service people are like beneath them.
Yeah.
I'm
Yeah. Like it's a
like they're just trying to do their
superior
job. And then you're
complex.
like, ew. Like everyone's just trying to like make their own way in the world. To be like, ooh, you're doing your job.
And they're literally doing stuff for you. Like they're serving your food, they're taking you places. Like please be appreciative of these people because someday you might end up as one of them. You know, you might end up in the service industry.
And like
And
we're not saying that's a bad thing.
no,
at
it
all.
isn't. But like if you end up being a waitress, then you'll finally understand how it feels to be treated like that. Especially all day. These people stay in their job like 24/7.
And they work so hard.
Our next one, they're always too busy to go on dates.
Okay, bye. Red flag.
Oh yeah, okay, I agree.
Like make time for me. I should be the most important one, Jackie. That's red flag too.
Guys, we're discovering red flags in ourselves. But it depends on if they're close to their family, and I understand if they have like if they need to be close to their family a little bit more than you, because it's about who they care about the most. So it's always all oh my God, I cannot talk. It's about showing up and actually doing stuff with action rather than just using words of affirmation, you know? So I think if they're too busy to go on dates with you, that just means they don't care anymore, you know?
Yeah.
Even with family issues, I think they should be able to go on a date with you.
Yeah, and I think that like, if they're like planning to like marry you or like
Oh yeah.
progress
If
the
it's
relationship,
serious. Yeah.
but then they don't make time for you to like learn about you.
Yeah. I agree. And then our next one is they recreate themselves to be your ideal partner.
It depends because like
That
if
one.
they're changing for you and like are
Right.
actually gonna change for you and they're not just doing that for a temporary time.
It depends on what change they're making, you know?
Yeah, like you don't want to manipulate someone, but like if you're like, oh, like I understand how this part of myself is hurting you, but I want to be in your life
Right,
and
right.
I want to be there for you and I want to go through all of these different stages of life with you and
Literally.
I need to do that by improving something about myself. Like,
Literally a book boyfriend. You know how they're always like, I can improve
no,
myself
this
for
is
you.
literally happening in the book I'm reading right now.
There we go.
He was an addict and he's trying to change for his fiance.
Yeah, so it's all about situation. So I think, but also don't be fake and say you're gonna recreate yourself. And it happens with friendships too. Like this red flag thing isn't just relationships. Friendships, if a person's like fully recreating themselves, that might be erasing some of the stuff that you fell in love with in the first place, you know, that you
Yeah.
liked about them. So just be careful about how you interpret yourself and how others interpret you.
Yeah, and just because someone say they changed, doesn't mean they actually
Not
did
for
that.
sure. Remember?
You need to go into caution.
And also action. Action proves that they actually changed. And if they're doing opposite actions of what you think they should be doing, that's a red flag.
Okay, the next red flag is that they don't text back. Oh, this annoys me
I hate that
so
so
much.
I'm sorry if I've ever done this to you. But like, okay, I understand. I know I'm trying to be empathetic to like people who don't text back. But also, don't treat texting as a game. Texting is to like let someone know things and have a cute conversation and just be, like not a phone call, not be serious as a phone call. But if I text you something, and even if it's like a little reel, like on Instagram, please freaking respond. You can even just heart the thing, you know? I just want to know you're listening. I just want to know you care about what I'm texting you. And if you don't respond, I don't even know what to think. I'll go into a spiral, I swear.
I sometimes phantom responds where I like think I texted someone back
This
and then
does
I didn't.
happen.
But it usually only takes me like 1 or 2 hours to figure it out, and I feel so bad, and then I text them back. But like, I have some friends, not calling anyone out, but like, sometimes I'll ask them a question and it will take them days to respond, and I'm not blaming them, but it's just like, I wanted to have a conversation with you.
God, you make me sad. Um, yeah, but don't also like, the dating game where it's like, oh, I'm just gonna text him right now, and then he'll text back, but it takes him like 2 hours to text back. Then you're like, oh, I'm gonna text him back in 2 hours. Girl, we're not playing this weird game where you guys are just like texting back and forth, but you guys are waiting the same amount of time as each other. I like don't understand. Please just text each other and have good communication. If you cannot, neither of you have good communication, please just leave that relationship because you guys don't need each other like that.
Amen. The next one is that someone does not allow for boundaries. Oh my God, I hate when people don't have boundaries. That is literally the biggest ick and the biggest red flag. Like, I will be gone if you don't have boundaries. Like, if
But
you don't
also,
want me to have boundaries.
no, that's what I'm saying. If you don't respect the other person's boundaries and then they don't respect yours, it's just such a toxic relationship already. Or friendship, definitely friendship.
Yeah,
Like,
for
tell
me, it's
them.
hard to like tell people my boundaries, which I'm trying to
Right.
get better at because I know we should all be respecting each other's boundaries. But like,
Do you know how people say like, this is my bubble and you're in my bubble? I use that, or I'm going to try to use that because I feel like it's a good way of letting people know that it's actually like you're in my space and I don't want you to be in my face. And that just rhymed.
but like, I hate physical touch, and I hate when people are like, "Oh, hug." Like, oh my God, when teachers hug you, I'm like, please get away from me.
I know teachers
I
don't
like
talk.
tense up, and I'm like,
I know it's
oh
weird.
my.
Plus, it's like an authority figure, and it's kind of just awkward.
Or when friends just ask you repeatedly like a question, and I'm just like, oh my God, leave me alone. I'm gonna scream at you.
That's specific. Anyway,
That's never happened with Iyla.
thank you.
Because she respects boundaries.
Oh, thank you. You did too.
Welcome. Thanks.
Okay, this one. They overshare.
Guilty of doing that.
Okay, so I was always known when I was a kid to be an oversharer. Like I would have teachers. I had this voice teacher, and my mom would like tell me stuff before things like something would happen at home. I would go into the voice lesson and tell this girl every single part of my life. And then she would like ask my mom questions. My mom would be like, "How do you know about that?" And I'd be like, "Ah, my bad. She doesn't need to know everything, but I told her anyway." But I am guilty of this, and if that's a red flag, I'm sorry. I apologize. But also, I have kind of a nick. Do you want to hear
Yeah.
it? Okay. So you don't have social media, but I do. And people,
When people cry online
oh my God,
and they
please
take
do
pictures.
not. I would never do that. But listen to me. I just like, I understand you not having maybe the support system in real life. And so you go online to try to find it. And then you put your whole personality or like everything about your life online. Why do we sound like that? Anyway,
Online.
why are you making fun of me? I can make fun of me. You can't make fun of me.
Can't fun me. No fun me for you. I know now it sounds like I'm making fun of you.
Anyway, I forgot what I was saying. What was I saying? Oh,
People crying online.
when people overshare online, I'm like, you don't have to put your whole personality online. Like people, I'm sorry, but people don't care that much. And if they do, they'd actually be contacting you and texting you. Like you don't need to put it on your story and all this stuff. And this is not targeting at all. Like if you need to do that for your mental health, do it. I'm just saying that I would never do that necessarily.
Okay, I am definitely guilty of oversharing too. I saw this meme the other day that perfectly summed up what I go through, but it's like I overshare to keep the convo going. And I'm like, I literally do that too.
That's so real.
Like,
Did you see that on Pinterest or something?
yeah, in the video, this girl was golfing, and this guy came up to her, and she's like, he was like, "Are you with your dad?" And she goes, no. Then she goes, no, my dad left me when I was 5.
Damn, that's oversharing.
I
Like,
know, but it's like,
extreme.
I feel like I overshare sometimes to like keep the convo going.
I understand that.
So I'm definitely guilty of this, and maybe that's my red flag, but
I think we both have that red flag.
like, how else are people gonna know my random trauma from 3 years
Okay.
ago?
But also, listen to me. People who don't overshare, that is crazy. Because if we're friends, I need to know stuff about you. Like, what are we gonna have a conversation about if I know nothing about you? And
Yeah, when you bring up someone with like some random name and you're like, oh, me and Billy Bob went to the market. I'm like, who is Billy Bob? And then you're like, oh, never mind. I'm like,
girl, like, please just give us. You don't even have to just say, "Oh, a friend." Like, girl, that's enough for me. And I don't want to
I
be
like
asking
continue
you.
your story, but it makes me feel weird that I like don't know and I feel kind of bad.
No,
I'm
but
like, it's like you decide to hide yourself from me.
it's the kind of red flag that's like they want you to ask more about that person and then tell you, "Oh, no, I don't want to tell you about anything like that." And then you're like leaving yourself like, "Oh, should I keep asking you or should I not?" It's just like such an annoying habit of them. Okay, our next one. Sorry, we spent a lot of time on that one.
Our next question or our next red flag. I listed questions, so I got confuzzled.
Did I say question?
Yeah, you said next question, and then I was
Oh.
like, okay, our next question. Okay.
I'm sorry.
Our next red flag is that they are evasive about every question you ask them.
I feel like we just talked about this.
When you like
Questions
ask
are
them,
important.
you ask them a question they never fully answer, but then they're like interviewing you. I'm like, you don't want to talk to me, and I don't want to talk to you. Because,
Yeah, so like why are we talking? You know?
yeah, but I also like hate oversharing too much because I feel like people use that against you.
Definitely.
Because if any little thing happens, you best believe, at least in high school, you best believe your secrets are going to be told to everybody. And
Yeah.
you're not even going to know, and people are going to give you like the dirtiest looks because you said one little thing about them on that one bad day. And then
That's
they just
also-
know, and then they're like,
When I hear things like about people in our grade, it's also I have to remind myself it's hearsay. Like I don't know if that person actually said that. It was just her friend said that about her, and then it like traveled to me. I don't know what game of telephone it was, and if it switched. Like, let's all just be careful about what information we're learning and whether to believe it or not.
high school social structure sucks.
I know. Anyway, um, our next is they only ever talk about themselves.
Okay. For this one, to myself, I feel like I do this because I feel like a lot of the time I'll look back on a conversation I had with someone like, oh my God, I talk so much about myself and I can't tell if it's just because I actually did or if I'm just overthinking it. Like I feel like I overthink it a lot, but then I'm like, why would someone want to talk to me? I just talked about myself for hours. And I feel so guilty about it, and then I like really hate myself, and then I like stop talking to that person for a few days because
That's actually incredibly relatable. But also, I feel like I'm the listener friend. Like, I can be a good talker, right? We can have good combos. But when you're talking about yourself, I am a listener. Because I know if it's something important, I should not interrupt. And I also feel like I'm a good therapist friend, if I do say so myself.
yes.
Our next one is you're the only one making plans.
Okay, this one I think is a green flag because I feel like most of the time I make a lot of plans, but I feel like if I don't make the plans, then it's never gonna go through. So I have to be like a little pushy about it, but like,
But don't you feel good when other people are like asking you to hang out? Or like,
yes and no. Like
they're
I like
making
when
the
you're like,
plans.
we should hang out, but I like
Right.
to like decide things we do.
I I do have that level of anxiety where it's like I need to know what time. I need to know whether I'm gonna be dressy, like wearing something that's like professional, or like I swear to God, every conversation about like going out with someone, I need to have a talk about what I'm gonna wear. Like, are we gonna match? Are we gonna wear the same colors? Are we gonna be the same vibe? Like, I don't know. We tend to have the same vibe sometimes.
Yeah. We will
Without planning.
accidentally match to like everything.
I don't know why, but
Anytime we hang out with our other friends, we just show up matching and we don't even plan it. And then they're like, oh, you're matching. That's so cute.
like,
And we're like,
we didn't
no.
know. Yeah, we'll realize right then. Okay, let's do the next one. They refuse to label your relationship.
Run.
Please run. That's awful. Like you deserve. Everyone else
Probably
listening.
cheating on you. You are probably the other person.
Like, please They don't have
He,
the emotional intelligence to label
he,
your
she, they are scared of commitment. So
right.
like, run.
If they don't have that intelligence to like label your
But
relationship.
also, don't take this as a thing that you need to like label the relationship after like one date. Like,
Yeah.
you need to feel it out a little bit, but like, if you've gone to like 10 dates and you've met their friends and they're still like, we're just friends.
You know what's really annoying? That nobody in this generation communicates anymore. And like, if you like the person, I am such a freaking hypocrite right now because I will not tell you I like you if I like you. I'll literally ignore you. Anyway, um, I feel like if they refuse to label your relationship and they're like not good at communicating, just please leave because that is a red flag. It's not a beige, it's not a green flag, it's not a pink flag. It's a red flag. Okay?
Red, red, red.
Yes.
Run, run, run. Run, run, run.
That's our slogan. And then our next one is they never meet you in the middle. So,
As Tyler, the creator, said in one of his songs, the 60-40 isn't working. And I agree. If you're putting
50-50.
60% of the work and someone's only putting in 40, it's not worth it because it's just like so mentally draining.
Yeah. And friendships, oh my gosh. Please give me 50 or
I have to go hide in the bathroom
Weird.
for like 10 minutes so I don't like scream at somebody.
got you there. Okay, next.
Okay, your family is vocal about not liking them. This one's like beige for me.
Who's that a red flag for?
Like the person is a red flag if your parents don't like them. But like
You're not gonna
I think it matters what I think more than my family.
you're not gonna let your family
But maybe if like
your
every single person I've introduced them to is like I don't like them, maybe I'll start to
Yeah.
consider it.
Yeah.
But like if my
And if you like them enough, like to that point where you're just like deeply in love with them and your family just doesn't understand your guys' love, I guess at some point I think you should listen to yourself more than your family.
But for me, at least just like with my family dynamics and stuff, like I don't think it's a red flag if my family doesn't like you. But like maybe if my friends don't like you, my family doesn't like you, like my colleagues.
Yeah, yeah. Then they're trying to tell you something.
Yeah.
Or the universe is trying to.
Because I know that when you're in a relationship, you have a blind side, like you ignore a part of your partner that you don't want to see, and you just like, because like people, when you break up with somebody, or like they break up with you, you're like, oh, they yelled at me, but like this one time they bought me flowers. Like you're looking at the good instead of the bad.
But don't trade one pain for like another. You know what I'm talking about? Even if it's lesser. And also, I do want to say something about intuition because you need to have relationship intuition. And if your body, this is a real thing, but like if your body, your mind, your heart is telling you that you're just not right for this person, or even if your mind is like trying to convince you that you are right for this person, you guys will figure it out. But your body, like your face is breaking out, you're gaining more weight or something like that, or losing weight like drastically.
Mine is dreams. I have
I
dreams
love
about people, and I'm just like,
intuition
I'm done with them.
Okay. No, I get that. I have the weirdest dreams about people, and then I'll be like, it changes my whole view of them. So I understand that. But yeah, intuition.
One time I had a friend that I didn't particularly like, and then I had a dream about them, and they were really nice to me. So then I started talking to them more, and now we're pretty close.
But I've had dreams about friends that I like trust and like did trust at some point, and then suddenly I'll have this dream, and I'll be like, oh, they don't like me or something, or they didn't respond to me in the dream. It'll be like a sign. So that freaks me out a little bit. And guys, also, intuition in dreams is real. Trust your dream. Even if it's a little weird, just try to interpret it the best way you can. And it's usually right. I'm gonna say that. Okay.
Okay, the last one is they belittle the things you like.
Oh, this is awful.
It's like I'm passionate about something when you like tell me that I'm not going to achieve that, it makes me want to achieve it more.
That's true. Okay, one thing about I was thinking about like having people like enemies. We'll say they're enemies, but like, you know, frenemies, those kind of people. And I actually am so grateful that I've had these people in my life before because they've actually seen something in me like some value in me, or else they wouldn't be talking to me or spending all this time on being jealous over me or something like that, which actually helps me have more value in myself. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Yeah. So I feel like if they're belittling the things you like, it's definitely a red flag.
I'm very stubborn, so if you tell me I like can't do something or something, I'm definitely gonna do it. Or like if someone like tells me I'm wrong, I'm gonna find every article to prove I'm right just so I can be like, ha. So like if you belittle something that I like, I'm gonna be mad.
Especially if you're like super serious about it. Like if you're just having a convo and you guys don't like the same artist, like it's okay, you know? But that's not necessarily belittling, you know what I mean? So it just depends on how you're responding to that and how the person's saying it.
Okay, now on to some of our red flags.
Our first one is this is this is just our opinion because when we were coming up with these, there was a guy driving a truck and we didn't like it. We didn't like him.
No, because like I feel like it's such a red flag. At least in the state we live in, like it's such a red flag if someone's driving a truck. But only if
don't,
it's a guy.
We're not a hater.
I love women who drive trucks. Like I'm like, oh my God, you're so cool. But if it's a guy, I'm like,
he's so cocky, but in an icky way.
I know, and he's like, I got a big truck. I live on a farm. No, you don't.
Girl, my dad has a truck.
Well, your dad lives on a farm.
That's true.
Your dad can have.
That's not a bad thing.
Okay, next one.
Okay, gas station, Matt. This is so specific, I swear. We were at this gas station. I'll just make a little quick thing about it. We're at this gas station, and this guy was like, "Do you live here?" Like, he just passed through, and we were like so creeped out.
He was working there.
Yeah, we were so creeped out.
But we were lying. We were like, no, we don't live here. We're from out of state.
Yeah.
Out of state. Out of state.
We're from Texas. No.
Yeehaw. Okay, it's actually kind of nice, but like, we just took it.
Was nice in a weird way. I feel like guys,
like, he wanted to help us get water out of the fridge, and we're like, do you think
we can do that? Like,
do you think we're not strong enough?
Exactly.
You want to control my life, little man?
Okay, next is mentally draining people.
Out of my life, except I have trouble cutting people out of my life.
I think we all do. Some people are cutthroat about it. I can never be cutthroat about it.
I will literally cry. Even if you make me miserable and then I try and like tell you that we can't be friends anymore, I'll start crying.
Yeah.
Because I'll feel so bad for hurting people's feelings.
Yeah, I'm like, I have so much sympathy for you for some reason, even though you've hurt me, you know? But mentally draining people, red flag for sure.
Leave my life. Thanks.
Yes. Like, I'm not gonna leave your life. You leave mine.
The door's that way.
But you can choose to walk through it if you want.
Skip through it. Run through it.
Mm-hmm.
I'll lock it behind you.
People who can never accept that they're in the wrong. Dude, you're in the wrong. Accept it and move on, please. And then leave my life through the door that we were just talking about. Because I do not need you.
Shade the door.
Mm-hmm. When people don't get a hint. If you can't read a room, please learn how, because I don't know how we could ever be friends.
Yeah, so sorry, but like,
please take the hint and just like, or become better and improve yourself.
Yeah, but
learn
like,
how to read the room.
But like, if everyone's sad and then you like walk in and you just brag about yourself, like, shut
or
up.
You're like, even if you're like, if everyone's sad and you come in, you're like this happy sun and everything. If you're like too happy or you make it like just about you or something, it makes it seem like their emotions are invalid. Next, is when
they only wear neon / tennis / golf clothes.
Please expand your style.
Burning my eye holes.
That bright neon yellow is not doing anything for your figure or your style. Like,
you're not in 5th grade anymore.
And also,
purchase some real clothes.
Hit us up. We'll take you thrifting. You know?
Literally will.
We'll find you some baggy jeans and some cute sweatshirts. You know?
Yeah. Get a haircut.
Makeover. Oh.
I want to give someone a makeover. So bad. Guys, if you're boarding class, look at people and then think of how you could give them a glow up.
Also, if you want to glow up, we're available.
Yes. DM us at What's the Talk About on Instagram.
Yes, please.
And also give us a follow, but free makeovers, not free.
Yeah.
Bring your own money, but we'll give you free advice.
Yeah. which
We
what we're
just
doing right
won't
now.
buy you clothes.
Yeah, bring your own money for that. Um, okay, wears the same clothes every week or every day. Do you know that person like recycle? I do that. Okay, that's not wrong. Like doing.
I wear the same pants sometimes. Like
Yeah.
leggings, I'll wear that a few times a week.
Yeah, yeah.
Jeans, same. But if you wear the same sweatpants every day, please just, I already know you're smelling musty and dusty, and I can spot you from a mile away.
Guys, we're not haters though.
I'm a hater.
No, don't be a hater. Peace and love.
I'm a hater.
Okay. Yeah, if they wear the same clothes. Hate that. Please just switch up your clothes. And again, take you shopping. Hit us up, please. But bring your own money.
Okay, next is bad etiquette.
Mm-hmm.
Like when you're late to class. Like you're not cool.
Mm-mm. Like you're trying to skip, but then you
And
come
then
at the
you're
last moment.
And
We're
then you're rude to the teachers because you're late.
Oh.
Or you laugh and then you blame someone else.
No, but this is the same thing as like being mean. Being mean to like waiters or waitresses. Like, dude, be nice to your teachers.
Respect your elders.
Yes. And I can understand not liking a teacher and like being like, oh, I hate her class. But
You gotta kiss some butt.
right, that's what.
That's how you be getting those A's in those classes.
I don't know how else to get an A.
But anyway, I go up to my teachers, I'm like, oh, girl, you're so pretty.
I love you. When I literally hate your class.
I made you some cookies.
I made you some cornbread.
Guilty.
Anyway.
Oh my god, do you like that band? I went to that concert.
And then like someone who love bombs, like please step out the door. The door is over there.
Self-explanatory. If
Yeah.
you don't know what love bombing is, you're probably doing it.
Okay. A person who paints red flags green. That's pretty self-explanatory.
Okay, bye.
No, but I just think I feel like we were doing that a little bit during this thing. We're like, oh, it's fine. That red flag. That's
The
pretty
red
bad.
flags that match my personality don't exist. Those are not
green.
the red flags.
Those are green.
But just someone who makes you feel crazy for thinking something's not okay. Like listen to your gut, and if you don't feel okay in that situation, you can leave. You can stand up for yourself. Free will.
Last message, don't be colorblind. Okay? We know what red flags are.
You know what green flags are. We know what beige flags are.
We know what pink flags are. Please, don't be colorblind. Thank you for listening to this week's episode.
Yes, thank you for
This
listening.
is What's to Talk About? Follow us on Spotify, on
The gram.
Instagram. Yes, the gram.
On Twitter, aka X, we posted a really funny meme that I created. So I came up with it in my brain.
Hayden's meme. Oh, she's so smart. Cute. And then, yeah. Just look out for other episodes. Thank you for listening.
Bye bye.
Bye.
Don't be a red flag.
Yeah.
Please don't.